We are going to break ground on a project that will transform the sports and cultural landscape of the region. We will introduce to the world the branding for this project and how this brings the model to the world. And thirdly, we will have a session on moving sports forward. We will look at how projects like this one and two other venues which are nearby, the BK Arena and the Amahoro National Stadium, help transform nations and share some examples of how each of us can move sports forward. Please help me welcome to the stage Masai Ujiri.
This is remarkable. I hate that this whole week, is full of emotions, full of, it comes out that, we're believing in ourselves and believing in Africa even more. And I want to say a big thank you to all our partners. I want to say thank you to Andrew. You've been incredible in driving this force here. Our partners, investors have been supportive, and to my family, to come here, travel, do all these things, it's tough, but we keep grinding and we get the beautiful support that we need from our family. Kyle, Kunle, you guys are warriors, Levi, everybody that is part of this. To RDB, the Bank of Kigali, everybody that has been mentioned today, I want to commend you, Your Excellency, for how people do business here. It is first class. It's always help. It's always how do we solve the problem, which is how things are supposed to be done in this world, and we truly appreciate this. Yesterday, if you take it in layers, yesterday we built a basketball court at Shalom Center and Agahozo Shalom, and that's community work, right? That's giving back to the community and giving people hope. And then last night we were at the opening of the Giants of Africa Festival, and you saw these youth, and that's development, right? You want to develop this youth, their thinking, how they grow, and what they see. And that's another stage. Then we come to this stage in Africa, which is the economic value of what we're trying to do. We have to stop seeing sports as recreation on the continent. We have to see it as competition, and we have to see it as a business. So when His Excellency had this vision of the arena, you think about 5 years ago, and having that vision to build this arena, and what comes in the ecosystem, and then renovating that incredible stadium, and then what's around it. So when I think of Scotiabank, when I think of LA Live, when we think of all these places where we play professional sports, it's a money driver. It's revenue generating. Money is breeding every day. How are we feeding all these people? How are we building our economy through sport? And I'll talk about through sport a little bit, because here is a leader that has given us an opportunity with something where, to be honest, we've been put aside. We're always put aside in sports, right? They bring people that don't know how to manage sports, don't have any intel vision, don't want to study. A lot of these people on the continent don't even see it. You think about this, just think about this now. Accra, Nairobi, and I hate to call it out like this, but I have to. Accra, Nairobi, Abidjan, even Johannesburg, Lagos, Abidjan, no arena, none. Yeah, think about it. It would be like saying that there's no arena in Miami, Toronto, Chicago, New York, name it. Yeah. So this is visionary. This is going to be a template of what we want to show on the continent. Yeah, with what my friend Amadou Gallo Fall is doing as president of the Bar League, which started here, the opportunity has been given here by this arena, by this vision of this president here. And it's what we're talking about. We need this. Yeah, we need this on our continent because it's going to make us grow. So I'll give you this little example. So pardon me, please. So our Scotiabank Arena naming rights changed from Air Canada Centre to Scotiabank Arena, and we signed this huge deal. How many millions? You know, this is money you're generating. You call our arena now, and you want to book a concert, or you want to book anything, and they tell you maybe you can come in 2026 or 27. They give you dates then. Yeah, this is how much business is driving conferences, sports events, hockey events, concerts, everything that generates money, food and beverage going on. It's incredible. Yeah, suites, hospitality, all those things. We don't have them in Africa. And we have the people and the talent. Yeah, and I say Africa's biggest jewel is our talent. Yeah, if we have the talent, then yeah, why can't we have, we have the education, why can't we have the smarts, the vision to think about this? And why do we keep getting neglected in sports? Yeah, because think about NCAA basketball. Yeah, universities, they all have arenas. Think about how much they're generating with those games, fans, people that come and support. Yeah, think about the Premiership. And while we're thinking about all of this, all these leagues are being served now by Africans. And when I say served, you go to every Premiership team, you go to every NCAA team, and by the way, you go to every American football team. American football, it's not played here on the continent here. You go look behind the jerseys, it's Africans. It's African names. Yeah, so what are we doing here? Yeah, what are we doing here? And why can't we build it here? So we talk about it, but we want to do it. And what this man is doing here is doing it. Yeah, it's not talking, it's doing it. Yeah, we want to give opportunity to those youth we all saw yesterday. And that's why we've had this thought of Zaria Court and how this is going to become a huge ecosystem here. And we're going to build revenue, we're going to serve this nation, yeah, we're going to build sports as we go, we're going to encourage all other businesses, we're going to innovate, we're going to have incubations, all those things for us. You know, like think about a Nike pop-up store here. Why can't we have that? Yeah, think about an NBA pop-up store here. Yeah, why can't we have that? Think about a Louis Vuitton pop-up store here. Yeah, why can't we have that? Why can't, when we finish those games here, we come to restaurants here, we come to sports bars here, we hang out, we make money, and we build the economy, and we grow, and we encourage. That's what we want to do here in Africa, because we believe in ourselves, we believe in all these smart people, and we believe in the vision of our incredible leader and leaders. Yeah, this is what we're talking about here. So without any further ado, I'd like to welcome His Excellency, President Kagame. I want to say thank you for giving not only Giants of Africa, but me, Andrew, my family, everybody this opportunity. Andrew's family, the Bar League that comes over here. Yeah, you've built us in a way that we are absolutely, absolutely proud of. And we can move, talk confidence like anything. You have no idea. So without further ado, I'd like you to stand up and welcome His Excellency. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Masai, Andrew, our friend Amadou, and the many guests here, including Masai's family and other families around. First of all, I want to welcome you here and to let you know you are our family as well, a family of Rwanda, so you are most welcome anytime. You know, Masai and the words he has just spoken, above all, he is a doer, he does things, and testament to that is what we are experiencing here. Between him and I, there is only one regret that goes around, but that is at his expense. He has failed to convert me to support Hole, the team he leads, Toronto Raptors. But it's not because he didn't try, or it's just because the time he brought the conversation up, I was already absorbed in supporting another team somewhere. So, but I said, okay, if it is to have two, I add Toronto Raptors, but first will always be my Golden State Warriors. Sorry to bring that up, but but that's the way it is. But otherwise, we're really grateful that we have been able to work together, and many things have happened, including now this one that is coming up, Zaria Court, and the whole ecosystem built around it, as you said. And it doesn't stop here. It spreads across Rwanda, the region, and our continent. Masai has told many stories about a meeting we had in Toronto when he invited me to go and watch the All-Star game, and how that resulted into building the arena. And you know, from that time, Masai, when the arena here was opened, many African leaders, many of whom have visited here and actually visited the arena itself, and they have left saying they are going to build even bigger arenas than our own. And I encourage them to do that. I tell them, after all, you have more and more reasons to do that. Please go ahead and do it. So it starts with one thing, then it keeps spreading. Well, of course, they promised. I'm still following them and nudging them and say, what happened? You promised you are going to build a big arena in your country, and so we want to see it coming up. But I'm just talking about the beginning of the story, a very good story, and how, in a way, it might have been slow in different places on different aspects, but I think it's been growing and to grow, and I think there is a lot more to come than we have already seen. So we just promise as a country we will do our best. Our best may not be good enough, but we'll keep trying. But having you as friends and as partners, I think it will grow, and we will be at the point where we want to be in terms of growing. First, identifying, there is a lot to do in terms of identifying talent around and growing that. And the potential is enormous. It is actually limitless. There is a lot that can be nurtured and grown here in our continent. And that connects with many other things, other sectors. And you know, it's not a secret how in Africa, sports is a big thing. The poor, the rich, everyone is just connecting with that every day, every moment. And that helps the spirit to grow even in other areas of development. Therefore, it will grow the infrastructure, it will grow the economies, it contributes to tourism, does many things. So this is not just as we see it. It's much, much bigger than what is seen by the eyes. And I wanted to thank you, Masai, Andrew, and everyone who has been supporting you as part of your teams. So again, I wanted to emphasize that here, you should all feel at home. You're most welcome. Thank you very much.
My name is Kunle Adeyemi. I'm a founder of NLE, and with my partner, Baron Stryland. And I am Nigerian. My wife is Cape Verdean. And following on from yesterday's African spirit, I can automatically also say I'm Rwandese. Thank you so much for creating this opportunity for us to be here. The key thing that I think is important here is that we, as an architect, I often have the responsibility of sort of shaping realities and bringing dreams into reality. And, architecture, what we do, moving sports forward, what I do as an architect is to move sports forward through architecture, an architecture that promotes diversity and coexistence between humanity and the environment. A project of this nature is one that has really inspired us based on the vision that you have established for the sports city. And Masai, the opportunity to work with you and to work with the team, the amazing team here, has been incredibly great. In the future, we see this place as an amazing, amazing location, as a gateway to the sports city. We see this as a hub for bringing people. We're going to bring down the walls. We're going to make it open. We're going to restore the green area. We're going to make it. We're going to activate it with people, with culture, with activities. We want it to be a park, a forest. We want it to be the symbol of sustainability, development, and really, really pushing the agenda that sports is not, like Masai said, it's both an important part of our humanity, but also a business. It's something that stimulates economy and also something that is very important for the environment. Sports is, interestingly enough, the key human activity that bridges this relationship between humanity and the environment. What other thing actually brings people out more than sports? So we're using this as a catalyst, in fact, to ensure that the entire ecosystem of the sports city is activated. It's going to be a place for young people, for old people. It's going to be a place for children, for families. It's going to be a place for day, for night. It's going to be the first place you want to be when you're going to have an event and hang out and have a drink, and it's probably going to be the last place you have your last round after the games, hopefully. We want to thank you, and this, ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, this is the act of groundbreaking is really a symbolic one, because indeed we are breaking ground, impacting, again, humans on the environment. And I pray that this day and this impact will be one that completely transforms sports and moves sports forward for Africa and beyond.
So we think about something that's really booming. There's a couple things that really bring people together and are kind of peacemakers, not just in Africa and the world. Sports and music, right? And we think of, yesterday we had Diamond and he had everybody going crazy. And Diamond says to me, I want to meet President Kagame. He meets President Kagame, and one of the first things he talks about is the arena, right? Excellency, he talks about the impact it's made on him and how he dreams that this comes to his country. But think about Davido, Burna Boy, Diamond, Wizkid, all these guys coming up, Tiwa, all these people, how Afrobeats has taken over everywhere. They go and they are selling out Madison Square Garden, they are selling out all these places. Why can't we have places for them to sell out? Instead, we put up tents like this, and we have Afro festivals and all, and after it's done, we tear them down. There's no revenue making, there's no data keeping, yes, there's no event management as such. There's no managing of the facility. It's done. It's just like this tent, it will be taken down. And we have to think bigger than this. So thinking bigger than this, one of the visionaries we've had too, and one of the fights to come here, you've seen it, the BAL, Basketball Africa League, headed by Amadou Gallo Fall, and what they've done, they have partnership with Rwanda, and we've come here, I think we're in our third year, and have signed a deal for even more in the future. That symbolizes what we want to do on the continent. So I'll let you hear from Amadou Gallo Fall.
Hi. This is incredible, and it is always great to be back in Kigali, because this is where, in so many ways, a lot of things have started. Masai mentioned conversations we've had with His Excellency, and then one thing that stuck with me is when he said that Africa must become a player. We have to become a player on the global stage. And what I took away from that is we have to think about ways to create value here before we export. In sports in general, certainly in basketball, young people always felt like they had to go somewhere else in order to become players. Festus Ezeli here is a 2013 NBA champion with the Golden State Warriors, and he can tell you his story. He had to go out. Bismarck Biombo talked about starting in Yemen before he went to Spain, then get drafted in the NBA. That was the story. The partnership with Masai goes way before NBA Africa and everything. We share the passion and vision that things like this could happen and should happen. And I'm so incredibly proud of everything he's doing to really continue to shine a spotlight on Africa and the opportunity we have to build something big, something special. When we launched the Basketball Africa League in 2021, in the middle of the pandemic, by the way, Rwanda was the only place we could have done that in terms of a complete bubble. And God knows we've searched, right? We've researched and where could we do this? You think about other countries where, maybe we thought general perception is that maybe they have what it takes. But this was the place because there was commitment, a focused leadership, and an interest in really bringing Africa together on the global stage. So we came here. And today, the Basketball Africa League, when I talk with confidence that we're going to build it into one of the best professional sports league in the world, is because of support we know we can count on from people like His Excellency. Yes, we started with a 3-year partnership. We signed for 5 years because this place is unique. It allows us to showcase the incredible talent we have. Seeing this Zaria Court and what Kunle explained, what you talked about earlier, how sports can drive an industry. We talk about the Basketball Africa League becoming an economic growth engine for all the reasons Andrew and Masai talked about. You have talent, you create the product on the court, but everything that goes around it. Where Africa has a competitive advantage when it comes to entertainment, you see how Afrobeat have taken the world, what we saw yesterday in this incredible arena, and you're going to continue to see throughout the course of the week. This is why we chose Rwanda. This is going to be a hub for sports and entertainment. We're going to create a product that the whole world is going to consume. People are going to continue to travel here from all around the world. We see it. We see it every each of the past season of the Basketball Africa League. People are traveling from all over the world to come here, and it's only going to continue to get better. We are going to get our fair share on the global sports and entertainment market, which contribute over 2% in global GDPs. In Africa, we are nowhere yet on the radar, but we're changing that. We're going to change that, and things like this are going to continue to happen. We will create talent off and on and off the court that is going to drive this industry, create jobs, have young people from all around the world from African descent wanting to come back. A brief example of the 3 years we've been here, we're seeing the impact. Your investment and your vision, I'm telling you, Rwanda women's team that I watched here in the AfroBasket last weekend, being on the top 4 in Africa, that's a big deal. And your men's team in the AfroChan in Angola, finishing with a bronze medal, that's a big deal. This is basketball. 2 days ago, I went to Lycée de Kigali to watch a local game. Patriot and APR, incredible. I'm talking about like high octane, fast pace, shot making, great skill on the court. And guess what? A lot of the import players who are playing for other teams in the BAL, they are here. Atul Majok, Michael Dixon, who was the MVP 2 years ago when US Monarchs played, they were playing here. On that court, there were 4 incredibly talented players that are coming to play in Rwanda because you created the enabling environment. So congratulations again, and my brother, we're here. So let's keep building. Thank you.
Yeah, and sometimes with these things we need sometimes a little bit of money and and Helios Sports and Entertainment has really been a key figure organization led by Tope Lowani and Baba and Apsara. And Apsara is here. She's vice president of Helios Sports and Entertainment. They are big investors in this space and see the overall value of this and where it's going. So I'll have Apsara.
As you introduced me, so my name is Apsara Gzao. I represent the Helios Sports and Entertainment Group. I'm Ethiopian, a very proud African, and by extension, as I was telling Claire yesterday, I claim Rwanda. We are quite large investors in the overall ecosystem of sports and entertainment, as you know, Masai. And the way we approach it is really from 4 main verticals to make it all work. So we think that sports IP and properties, local properties, are extremely important. So the NBA Africa is an example, but really underneath it or really next to it, the local property of the BAL that is ours and local and in our own content that can thrive here but grow in the rest of the world is an incredibly important part of the mix. And we're quite encouraged by the healthy pipeline of other sports properties on a global basis that we see wanting to come to Africa because of the leadership of Amadou and the team at BAL and NBA, seeing that it is possible, right? As you say, all of the sports properties all across the world, whether it's cycling, whether it's American football, whether it's soccer, they already source here. Most of their talent already comes from here, so they're forced one way or another to look at this continent. And the unique thing about Africa, unlike anywhere else in the world, is that it's young and it will continue to be young for decades to come, while the rest of the world is aging, right? And that is our competitive advantage, right? That's where the money is. So besides sports, we think that other content properties, whether it's in music or art or other kind of relevant creative IP properties are increasingly important, and that's the thing that we invest in. And to support all of that, we need what we call ecosystem enablers, right? The arenas, the stadiums, but also things like Zaria Court, right? That without the arena, the BAL wouldn't exist, and really without a Zaria Court, the arena wouldn't have as much utilization. So it's all a very positive, self-reinforcing mechanism that we're building here. And then finally, talent, right? A lot of our talent makes it out of this continent despite all of the challenges, which shouldn't be the case, right? We want them to succeed here, but also on a global scale because of all of the infrastructure and the support that they get around it. So we think it's really important to be investing in the representation and the development of that talent as well. So 4 key core verticals. And we are incredibly committed to funding this ecosystem across the continent. We're very proud partners of Masai and Zaria Court. We think this is an incredible template to bring to the rest of the world. Thank you very much for Rwanda for really setting the scene and leading the way, because that is really what will allow us to deploy hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions, into this continent on our beautiful, in all of our beautiful countries. Thank you.
And then lastly, it's often overlooked, I think is, I go to a lot of these countries and everybody wants to build all these huge buildings and stadiums, and you don't have the right people to manage them. Yeah, we don't manage them enough, and they'll put one person there and you go and they sweep it. Yeah, and sometimes we build all these buildings. You see, a couple countries have hosted, they think hosting, and so they host a Junior World Cup and they'll build like 4 stadiums, and then when you leave, you have no value of those stadiums. And part of running this ecosystem, this arenas and these stadiums and these places have to continue working, right? That's what keeps them going, not keeping them brand new and keeping people out of them. You have to keep that use all the time. So I want to commend Mark for your work with QA Solutions. It's unbelievable. Levi for all the work you've done, putting a lot of this stuff together, working with us, and it has been unbelievable. And then we'll hear from Kyle, who CEO of QA Solutions and manages the BK Arena and couple other properties around the continent here and here in Rwanda, and how, you know, like we're grinding. He sent me this thing of, you know, all the things that come through BK Arena now, and you have to think about it, you know, like whether it's Chogam, I saw pictures of Chogam in there, or whether it's a company like, I think, was it Bank of Kigali that had some innovative ball having their, this becomes a huge ecosystem, you know, like where we have to get the value of this thing moving. So Kyle, just speak a little bit about that to the people.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you very much, Masai. Your Excellency, I'd like to personally thank you for the opportunity, for allowing us to move sports forward. I live in Rwanda, so to everyone who is claiming, I think I won up. I live here. My beautiful wife is with me. We've got 3 little kids. My son was actually born in Rwanda, so he is 100% Rwandan. But yeah, I'm Carl Schofield. I co-founded QA Venue Solutions with my partner, Mark Ransom, out of South Africa. We really, you know, brought together the business on the basis of activating these spaces that have been developed. In Rwanda, we currently manage the BK Arena. We're consulting on the development of the Amahoro Stadium. We manage Nyandungo Eco Park, and we will be managing this beautiful project of Zaria Court. And for us, it's really bringing together people. This is what these spaces do. They bring nations together. It allows people to connect deeply with each other. And that's all done through sports and culture. And so when we look at the BK Arena and we talk about the ecosystem, over the past 2 years, you know, and really thanks to the efforts of the government, we have hosted over 170 events over the past 2 years in that arena. We have done naming right deals with the arena that are unheard of across the continent. And this is all a testament to what is possible. And so for us, when we look at this space, when we look at it through our lens of strategic management, of commercialization of spaces, you know, you really got to take it from day one. You cannot walk into a building once it's built. You got to think through the design and how that all comes together to effectively manage it, to effectively commercialize the space, and really bring the elements together. We speak of food and beverage, we speak of naming rights, the different events, the ticketing. All of these are components that you have to manage carefully to really exercise the asset. And so when we look at Zaria Court, you know, there's multitude of avenues that we can maximize through the hotel. We're currently sitting in the space where the retail park will be. The more we bring the tourists into the country, they'll engage with local products. We've got the sports bar. That's a perfect location for friends and family to get together before a big Premier League game, before a big game at the soccer stadium or the arena. We've got the basketball court where guests will be able to enjoy local league games, concerts. It's really a space that brings people together. Five-a-side soccer. And at the end of it, what we are ultimately doing here is developing a template that is going to be taken across the continent to activate the sports and entertainment economy that we speak of.